Hi everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to do another Leetcode, and we're going to do the best time to buy and sell stock problem. So in this problem we are given an array of prices where prices at index I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. So you want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. So you need to return the maximum profit you can achieve, and if you can't achieve any profit, just return 0. So for example, if you have like this prices array, the output should be 5 because you can buy it on day 2 with the price at 1, and you can sell it on day 5 with the price is 6. So 6 minus 1 is 5. That's the largest, and you output 5. So in the case where there are no profit, you just put in the output as 0. So let's take a look at how we want to solve this problem. I guess the simplest approach you can take is basically you can just iterate through this array, and then while you're at every array price, while you're at every price, you can just check what the profit is in the future days. So the way that looks like is basically just your standard double loop, so a loop within a loop. So when you iterate, you can just iterate through the prices and say let I equal 0, and then I is less than prices dot length, and then I plus plus. So you can just do the same loop inside, just change it to j. And also you're going to initialize the j at value I, and then you can calculate the profit. So let profit equal prices I, actually j. You have to look at the future days. So prices j minus prices I. And then if you look at if profit is greater than max profit, so we need to initialize the max profit before the loop as 0. So it will keep on updating. If profit is greater than max profit, then max profit equal profit. So after this loop ends, you can just return max profit. And that will be the simple solution for this problem. So let's just run this test case. And as you can see, we have the test case passed. Let's just submit this and see if it's accepted. Okay, as you can see here, one of the test cases, time limit exceeded. So if you have really a large array of prices, this really isn't a really efficient algorithm, because the time complexity here is actually about, not about actually, it's n square. So because it's a loop within a loop, so as this input grows, it's going to grow rather large. So we need to optimize this a little bit. So basically, instead of 2 loops, let's see if we can try and basically use 1 loop. So how we can do this is basically we can just initialize the minimum price, minimum entry price. We can start at the first one, and then we can iterate through the rest in a single loop and just say, okay, if the profit is greater than the max profit, then we can update that max profit. So for instance, 1 minus 7 is actually minus 6, so we're not going to update that. And 5 minus 7, 3 minus 7, 6 minus 7. So the first iteration is basically not going to work, because every time 7 is just larger than all the other numbers. So what we can do is, if we find and at every iteration, if we find a price that's lower than the previous price, we're just going to update that. So for example, if we check this number and it is lower than 7, then we're just going to update that price as well, and then we're going to calculate the profit from there. So we're going to have another variable here that says min price, and we're going to initialize it as the first item or the first price in the prices array. And then we're going to iterate starting at 1, and we're going to remove this inner loop and just say, okay, if let's calculate the profit. So let profit equal prices I minus the min price or the minimum price, and if the profit is greater than the max profit, then we're gonna just update the max profit into profit. And we're going to do another if statement and say, okay, if the minimum price is greater than the current price, so the current price on the day, we're going to just switch it. So I say minimum price now becomes the price for the day. Price equal prices I. So if we're doing it this way, now we have just a single loop. So from n squared, now the time complexity becomes O of n. So let's just run this and see if it passes the test case. And we have a pass. Let's submit it. And there you have it. You have an accepted solution. So those are two approaches. Obviously, the first approach is going to take a lot of time, so it's not the most optimized solution. So if you're attempting this problem, basically that is how you're going to approach breaking down that problem. Maybe the simplest approach you can start, and then you can work your way through the more the single approach or the single loop approach. So I come to the end of this video. So if you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for your notifications. If you have any questions about this problem, you can drop a comment down below, and we'll be doing more of these Leetcodes in the future, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video.